Hey guys, and welcome back. Got back from Home Depot, Home Depot, and do some shopping for the cushman. My welding helmet died, and I thought that the welding helmet charged the battery. Is that upside down? Charged the battery. Feels like it is. Under the light of the weld. But I was wrong. It actually takes batteries. It was getting very slow to turn back on. There we go. Now we're cooking. We want to adjust some stuff though. The latches, I grabbed two latches. Just regular like door latches for the end of the gate. We're going to eyeball those up there, see how they look. That looks good, don't it? Remember how all this goes back together? I think it goes in the helmet. Right, well, I'm going to take a minute and go clean up my lenses before I do that, and we'll get back into this as soon as I can not see what I'm not doing. Oh, you guys that have a hard time seeing or wear glasses, they make a insert that goes in your welding helmet that is essentially reading glasses, and you can get them different magnifications, and you can help you see your welds a little bit better. I'm not trying to wear stuff underneath your helmet. Works good. Cheap too. It's like probably like $5. Hi guys, so it's the next afternoon from the last video that was out, and I'm happy with everything. I thought about it over the course of the evening. I think I'm on path to what I want to do. I do want to weld. I do want to attach the lower level to the cab for more support than what it has, instead of just relying on the floor, and that's more for the side-to-side rockiness of it. And this is actually kind of part of the frame. You see this very thick channel right here. It's not sheet metal like this stuff, you know. This is 1/8 inch, it looks like, angle, and it's onto the base of the frame, and it's welded to it, and what catches the box here, and then, you know, helps support the cab and the wall of the bed. So I'm going to clean back some of this, and I'm just going to do a fillet weld right over and have this grab this. I'm not going to weld to the front of the cab. I don't think it's really going to do anything. This is only a piece of sheet metal. Is it? No, that's 1/8 inch also. I'm going to leave that be for a while though. I think if I just catch it to here, that's going to be more than strong enough. So I'll do that on both sides. And in the back, I can catch it right in there, right across there. So that's be all 4 corners boxed in. And then the same on this side, to all 4 corners. I'm probably going to grind this flat, and I'll just put a cap on the end of it, and I'll weld that off. Not sure of that yet. I'm going to leave them be until I'm done with the tailgate part of it. But I'm going to start with that, and then we're going to go continue on from there. What do you think they're for? Yes, I re-braced the back of the box, got that all set, and welded up the other areas I talked about. So actually, no, I didn't. I forgot to do the front of the cab. Slacker. I gotta get those done. Alright, let's see if we can fill that in. I ground the top off. I'm gonna just try stacking beads on here and working my way out to it and catch it. Good enough. There's the other side. Ugly but functional. And it is definitely one part of the truck now. Nice and sturdy. Alright, so those guys are gonna go every 6 inches apart. It'll leave about a 5-inch gap, 5.5-inch gap in between. And we're going to go from there. Follow the profile of that, kick up, and then we'll go the rest of the way and tie into this bar. We're going to go all the way across on both sides. So I got to make one for my template, I think. We'll make one up, see how it looks, and we'll fit it to this spot height-wise, but there's probably about a 1/4 inch difference between the lowest gap, I think it's like 28, and the largest is 28 1/8 or 28 1/4, right about there. So I don't want to make them all the same size. I'm going to fit them as I go around. And so again, we'll start with the first one. I'll make it, maybe notch it fit, and then we'll just write on it that it's the master. And we'll try to copy, so we can get the same bend every time. That's what I'm looking for. So I can lay it on top of that one. We'll just keep comparing to that so we got the same kink in every one, that they're not kind of dancing around a little bit. So let me get set up and see how that works for us. So I got one cut out. It's they made it 30, and rebar does not very, come very straight and true. Its purpose is not for what I'm using it for, so it's not very important how nice and neat and straight it is. But we're trying to do the best we can with what pieces we get, and I'll point the crappy end of whichever one I cut, which is just going to be basically the 2 ends of each stick. I'll point that words up. I think what we're going to do is we'll come up the 4.5 inches. I'll mark it with a soapstone marker, and maybe we'll try heating it up, and I'll bend it, and we'll get this first bend set up. Once we do that, this one can, all of them too, once each one's made, I'll come up from the back side. I'll come up from the back side and mark it, and then cut it one more time so it's an exact fit for each location, and we'll tack them all the way across. Well, let's see if we can get that bend right first. I got my this guy out too, so I'll set this thing up to mark my angle, and we'll see what we can do about trying to get a bend in the correct location after we got one made. See how the rest of them go. Start the assembly line, So I figured maybe we'll try cold bending it first. Give it a shot. If not, again, we heat them up and you can kind of bend like butter when you do that. But I'm trying to make the bend on a concentrated area. So that's the mark right there. Let's just go see if we grab it. And I don't know if the vise is going to stay. It might slide on us. Yeah. Hold on. See if we get it to go the rest of the way. That might be just fine. Here's my tool. Too much. I went too muchy. Ah, geez. That's pretty close. I'll go with that. Let's go see how it looks. Alright, so if that one was to go, looks like it'll be fine, huh? So that's what I'll do. I'll make a bunch of them. I'll probably knock another inch off or so. I'll measure the top of that, what's protruding, maybe knock them down to 29-inch pieces, so we're wasting very little. And I'll come up 4.5 and I'll make all the bends like this one, and we'll start stacking them in place. Yes, I got a rhythm going. I took a mark and I measured 4.5 inches on the vise just so I know I'm placing it in every time. And I got the one made up, and pretty much just I left enough gap to lay the first one on top, and I'm getting pretty close to getting them almost every time right on the first pull now. good. Got about 7 of them done, another 7 to do. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. The making the rebars just a little bit longer and putting one up at a time. I put it up, I just put a little mark on it and then fine tune it with the cutoff wheel and then clean up the ends for the weld. And kind of made them all just a little hair long and kind of stuck up on them with the grinder and just so they fit in just right. So it looks good. It's not perfect, but not really going for perfect. You see some of the bends seem like they're in slightly, some are sharper than others is what it is. Some travel very short distance for the bend, and like that one is traveling a little bit further. I guess as long as you look down the side of it, do they all hide behind the pipe? They do. So that's fine. Alright, gotta do it all over again on the other side, so I gotta go lay out, put my layout marks on that side, measure it out, and continue to do the same. There we go. It was nice that I took my time and kind of fit each one of them. So that you look down the sides, the placement's even on all of them, the top and the bottom, and there's not one like jammed in there and it's got a bit of a bow to it. Plus it just makes the whole structure that much stronger, you know. It's essentially these repeated all the way down the sides. That's our side view look. Minus the pliers, it's kind of hard to tell, huh? Looks pretty good. Yeah, I can see a little bit of variance in the where the bend is, but who cares? Right? In the grand scheme of things. So I'll probably go around and buzz them up later on and get them all finished well, just in case I want to move something around or do something I still can without having to hack the whole thing off. So I think we're to the point of probably closing in the back section. Move the welder out of the way. My initial thinking right now, and I'm probably going to think about it for a little bit though, is probably going to do a split gate down the center. We'll have it kind of like go into this groove and we'll pivot maybe off of that. Not sure how I want to do that. Yeah, make a cage that kind of comes up. 2 doors, and we'll lock the 2 doors, and if you lock the 2 doors, it will also lock the tailgate, because you can't open them and then you won't be able to open the gate. I got 3/4 tubing we could frame the outer section with. I think that might not be a bad idea. I can go with the 1" too, I guess. Not much of a weight difference between the two of them. That's another thing too. People are talking about the weight. The high top setup here and the center of gravity is higher, and all that's true on a 3-wheeler, you know. But you got to respect what it is that you're riding. You know, you got a motorcycle. You put a motorcycle with a sidecar on it. You can't ride it like you rode the motorcycle. So you can't be an idiot with them. I got trikes and everything else. I'm well aware of how they kind of function on 3 wheels. You know, I got a VW trike I drive all summer. So yeah, so that is a concern. But they made vans too, and fiberglass van, and like a postal service one where it's just nothing but fiberglass body, a couple of those windows I think in the side, and fiberglass shell, and then you just fill the thing all the way up with packages. So it's this plus being full of material running around on the same chassis, same frame. If you Google Cushman Truckster images and all kinds of stuff, okay, this comes up actually, and you'll see you know, all the different configurations of the different bodies that they have on them. They're used for lots of different things, and this one's going to get used for different things, I guess. Getting there, I'm liking the look. Oh, I forgot where I was going with my conversation. So yeah, center of gravity could be higher with it. It could, you know, throw it off. You got to be careful with it. One thing that I kind of liked, that I have the capacity of doing, if there is an issue with it where I want to make the top removable, I'm just going to cut it right, like probably 1 inch high from the bottom on these legs going right across, and I'll make pins or sleeves that they kind of fit into, so you could actually take it off and put it back on if I want to. Right now I'm welding it up solid straight. I'd have to do that anyway in the build, and then if I feel like I want to go that much further so I can make it removable, I still can. know, it's a cutting wheel and a welder, which is more the same of what we're doing now. All right, enough talking. Let's see what I can come up with on that gate. Maybe we'll get some material and we'll start kind of framing it out and looking at it. Like a plan? That's a plan. Look down. I said look down. Do you think that guy for the doors? Frame out of that. I like the fact that the smaller one will be lighter, but I like that the fact that the 1-inch one will fit the gaps nicely. I think once it's made, it'll fold real flush with the bottom of the door and the top of the thing, you know, because the top's 3/4. You know what I mean, right? What do you think? Go for that? I got more of it. That's what we're gonna do. Unless we don't do it. I started getting on it, and I threw some tape down, marked out some locations and all, on top and bottom, and cut 4 pieces out. And I already would have done it differently now that I'm getting into it a little bit. I think I would leave the bottom one solid. Instead of trying to divide and make 2 separate doors, I should just make it all one frame, and then when I'm done, cut it in half. You know what I mean? Run the 2 bars, leave a little space in the middle, and slice it once it's out of there. I might even still do that, I think. I'm gonna do it to the top, and what that has, so when I go and tack and weld everything together, the doors, the alignment, everything will stay much straighter, I think. So yeah, gotta do a little bit of backpedaling. We'll use those somewhere else. Guys make fun of my vice grip collection. Yeah, until you need it. Now we've got them. Looking good. The gaps are looking decent all the way around. And the last one getting set up. I got a copper or brass washers in between. I didn't have enough paint sticks. Obviously I never paint anything. Why would I have paint sticks, right? So I used those for shims to take a little bit of a gap all the way around. Then the last one we're fitting in. It's got 2 angles on it. So I just cut a piece that's about 1 inch longer. Marked it where I wanted it. I'm gonna go cut those out on the bandsaw. Fine tune that one last in. We'll clamp it in, and I think we're gonna throw some tacks around that. Let's go see how close we got. I'm short on that one. I suck. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna go space it. Gap in between the 2 of them. I think I'll just jump them with the MIG welder. That's how much I'm off. That's what I get for filming it. Oh, the other ones are fine. Yeah, we'll space that right in there. I should be able to fill that. Don't tell anybody. I don't know about you, but that does not look like it's straight up and down, does it? Looks like it's leaning that way. Or is it me? Somebody might have measured wrong. Right. I got 13.5 to there. And 15 to there. Somebody's off. Pay no attention to that line. I'll fix that. That look a little better? Yeah, I was off by that much. About 3/4 of an inch. I don't know. I think I'm to the point where I can go and tack those together. I got nice spacing all the way apart, all the way around, and room to cut in the middle when I'm done. What else? Yeah, I think good. We'll go do that, and see what we want to do from there. Maybe put some bars in it before we cut it. Leave it all together, you know. And what I did for this one is I kicked this one up. Actually, it slid back down again. I kicked this one up a little bit, and then I was able to kick this one up a little bit, and I'll be able to weld those, no problem. It stayed pretty good. Everything is still nice and level with itself. You do the one eye test. You go right past where all the points line up, and you see if one of them doesn't follow. Looks good. So it's welded on 3 sides. Bing, bing, and the back side. The only place it's not welded is the outer perimeter. But I want to pop that out of there, kind of grind some of those corners a little bit, and then we'll do the last weld. But I think we can figure out what we want to do for bars on the back. I don't know what the spread is. I need a little more. Hold on. I'll be right. Here we are. Keep underestimating myself. We are just at 20. We did every 6 on the side. That's going to be maybe 6.5, 7, right? 6 would be there, 12 over there, 18. Knock it down to maybe 5. Would give me at the 15, at the 10, and at the 5. Yeah, so we'll do every 5. 3 of them on each gate. Or just go straight up. Is there a benefit to doing? This one might be a little shorter, going to the side of it. Is there a benefit to? Not really, right? It's not like they're going to be weak and need support going across or anything. I think it's a pretty stout. You'll be able to hang off those suckers. Yeah, we'll go with every 5. Let's go get some. Do the same thing all over again. We'll just do some straight rebar and get some of those tacked in place. All right, you got a new battery in you. Feel better? You feel peppier? There you go. I think the idea of not cutting gates apart worked out really well. Kept everything nice and organized. So I'm going to leave it in place, and I think what the next part we're going to do is go for the hinges and how the latching stuff is going to work. And I have some hinges in the hoard. I got to go look for where they are. It should be out of weather someplace. Just got to go hunting in 0-degree weather. Or we're going to go to Home Depot and we just may go buy something. And I think the problem is I want it to pivot on the straight. I don't want it to pivot on the angle. The gate will kind of swing up and swing down. I'd rather have it kind of like flip right around 180, be able to tie it back to the side of it. And to do that, so we're going to need 2 hinges in straight. But I think we can put one pivot here. Maybe I'll move one so that the pivot is up here, but it kind of sticks out past the body a little bit. If I can get them about, I don't know, about 8 inches apart or so, 8-10 inches apart, I think that should be strong enough to hold the gate. But I'll need good hinges, you know. So see what I have, and we'll kind of go from there on that. But with that, guys, I am going in and wrapping it up. This is as far as I got today. They look good. Just getting there. You can start to figure out what it is yet. There's the cat out of the bag. Yeah. Happy with it. I don't want to marry this thing though. It seems like I brought this in just to kind of get it to yard drive, and while it was in here I kept picking away at it, and now it's become, you know, full steam. But I want to get the double cab back in here this winter and start getting some work done on that. That was the plan. So I kind of want to get this one to the point where it can get tucked away. It's good enough to kind of go in springtime, you know, take it out and do some shakedown runs on it when the weather's good, and get a sticker on it and all that kind of happy stuff, you know. But we're still going to pick away at it for a little bit. All right, with that, guys, I will catch you later. Later. Just spoiling myself today, ain't I?